So most of the time, people don't even realize that I work with Keller Williams because they're like, oh, Tristan and Associates. It's just Tristan. I'm like, no, I'm also with Keller Williams.
Yeah.
So it's so cool if you do it right, right? People will start following you regardless of what brokerage you're with. And that to me is super strong because that's what we have at the end of the day, right, James?
Yeah, 100%. And Neil, you're already repping your brand, Dream Team. Um, what inspired you to start creating a brand called the Dream Team, and how have you?
And all encompassing everyone under one roof.
Right.
And we just work together.
Can I stop you right there, Neil? Because I think you said something really, really smart, which is like building something big enough, a vision big enough that it can include more and more, not only value to your clients, but also more streamlines of income. You're starting to build out a bigger, more impressive business with the brand versus just being an associate that buys and sells homes.
Exactly. And scalable.
We should do a little quote on that, Tristan, or something, where it's like building a brand means building a bigger vision for your entire business, which then catapults us into more income, more value, which also builds that flywheel of more value, more income, more value, more income.
Yep.
It's credibility.
It's total credibility. I see that, Neil, you have over 130 designs created maybe in this last year, which is that's like 10 designs a month you guys are creating on the LCA Marketing Center. And everything from mailers to property flyers to brochures and social media, hosting events, recognizing agents.
Do you have access so we can take a look at his back end or no?
I can see his back end.
Let's keep it clean here. His back end on the computer.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things is for myself and my admin, we don't even have to have the ideas. You guys come up with the templates and we go through them and we're like, holy cow, they have an event flyer. And it auto-populates all of our branding into it, so everything's streamlined. It's an absolute no-brainer. I mean, it comes up with the ideas. We weren't doing the agent recognition until we saw that idea in the marketplace. So it's super cool. And then to have everything consistent, like you were saying, Tristan, is the consistency. People see your same flyer, the same for sale sign, the same business card. I mean, it just all comes together. It's huge.
That's the key, man.
Everything.
It's beautiful. And like Don was saying, that what brand is really like Seth also says here, I put the quote, a brand is the set of expectations, memories, stories, and relationships that taken together account for a consumer's decision to choose one product or service over another. And I think that was so key because that's what we're shooting for as agents and salespeople in all verticals. Christopher, can we hear you now? Just testing it out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there it is. We can hear you. All right. Well, welcome, Christopher. What area are you out of?
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Nice, dude. Nice. Love it. Well, welcome. Thanks. Thanks for being on. James, do you have access to show us things on the back? Because I'd like to see what Neil is working on.
You want to see what Neil's doing? I just want
to rip it off and just. No, I'm joking, Neil. I just want to see what he's using.
While you're creating that branding distinction, Tristan, I just wanted to add, and I've said this before, but remember in Gary Keller's Red Book, he said 89% of first-time buyers use the first agent they think of, and then it was 92% use of sellers use the first or second agent they think of, and that to me kind of talks about what you were saying. It's when you brand, you create that expectation, those brand promises, and then you visualize it to distinguish yourself from there's 13,000 agents just in LA. So how, can you distinguish yourself from everyone else with visualizations and a set of expectations so that you are the first or second agent they think of? I think that was really valuable. This right here is some of the back end of what Neil's been creating. Neil, if you want us to turn it off and you don't want to share
No, I'm an open book, my friend.
some of the cool things. And did you guys notice we're updating the designs as it goes? Like not only are we adding new templates every month, but also just hires. I think it's great.
We're losing you, James, a little bit.
Is that me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Not creating. They're all for different properties, but they all have your consistent blue. They're using your particular logo. I'm just going to go ahead and become Neil. And
all right, perfect. As you're doing that, I have a question for Neil. Neil, what is your team or your brokerage or you guys? What do you use the most on this? What do you find is the most useful?
I think everything to do with listings. So open house flyers, coming soon flyers, just listed flyers, anything to do with that to make us stand out. When people are coming to open houses, most of the people are interviewing for their next agent to help sell their property and hopefully help them find a property. So we definitely want to stand out. I would say that's our top use is listings.
I love it, dude. Well, it looks super clean. I love the colors. They're very similar to my colors, so I love the colors.
My favorite for sure.
Yeah, they're the best. I have a question for Don, James. Don, you run kind of like the tech and the what's next sort of department for brokerage, right?
Yes.
And you're always on top of what's cool and what's next. So that's cool. How do you guys use this marketing center for branding? Do you use it similar to Neil, or what is it that you guys do differently?
No, so we're using it on a management level. And we use it to promote our brokers, which they love. We use it for providing a really kick-ass listing presentation that may or may not be monetized at some point.
Got it.
It's really for us a high level use, and we're bringing value to the brokers.
So you're using it more on the broker level, like giving them the tools that they need, like to present a listing presentation, buyer
Correct.
presentation, those type of things. James, am I looking at Don's company here?
yeah, this is all the stuff they're doing from congratulations to it's a seller's market to welcome to.
Do you have that a look at the listing presentation? I want to see that.
Yeah, they have so many.
There's a folder in there.
I can go ahead and become her. I didn't want to.
That way I can take a look at it because
all the different folders. You guys
use it a lot.
Yeah.
So
So there's this one. That's nice.
Ooh,
yeah, if you click on that, that's.
Oh, that's the listing presentation.
And then there's a CMA presentation in there as well.
You just gave me an idea because we just built out a CMA over the weekend for like a $1.5 million home. But the CMA I just saw looked way better than what we came up with.
Yeah, exactly. So there are pages to add your CMA.
Well, you'll see 34 pages.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit. Now, did you guys create this or did you use the template that you had for the very beginning?
So it started with the template, and then Noelle, who you're looking at, this is the presentation that she created that she's allowed us to utilize on a high level. She's our in-house creative by far. If Noelle and James got into a room together, oh my God. But
so I gotta
this is a pretty impressive presentation.
And you guys, anybody else listening, just chime in if you see anything or you have questions, because we're all learning in this together because we're sharing. One thing that comes to mind as you're scrolling through this, James, is Kevin Markarian does such a great job of promoting his company because his brand is really nice. Right?
Kevin's got his own platform. I don't know if you guys know this, but we've talked about it before. He's got Marker Design Studio.
Yeah.
This is like completely built. This is actually his chief operating officer's account, and they're creating stuff all the time.
I love it. Neil, it's kind of like our color there. It's like an off blue of ours.
The thing is with this is like with branding, for me particularly, being a boutique independent brokerage, and this relates to an individual agent in any market, you have to find a way to level the playing field. Like for me, I moved from a small town to San Francisco, completely new market, and I had to find a way to compete fast because, like Don said earlier, it's about credibility, right? And if it really starts with image and perception, and image. The perception becomes reality. So if they see that you've got beautiful content, they see that you've got professional looking material, the perception then becomes the reality, which is like I want to work with this person. Like it's okay. Like this just gives people permission to work with me. Really, like it makes them feel like they're working with I buy Coca-Cola or I buy a certain brand because I feel comfortable with that brand. I feel safe with that brand. So if I'm an agent, I'm going into a new market, or I'm an agent that's competing for market share in my existing market, I want people to feel comfortable with the decision to work with me, and having beautiful material like this that James has created gives people that sense of comfort, and that sort of that they're making the right decision, and that's like the foundation of the decision. So and this is what it allows us to do as not only an individual agent, but as a brokerage competing with the biggest, most successful companies in the world in San Francisco, now in Southern California. And that's why that's why we're doing really well. We're not only competing, but we're winning. So and it comes down to like the foundation. You have to have a good brand. You have to have good image. You have to have a good presentation. So it's like you have to have it if you want to succeed long term. So to have this opportunity is at this price is like I've been in businesses. I've been around since 2002. I've never seen something at this level for this price, and so we're definitely taking advantage of it. So
you're using all the pictures I took with my iPhone. I love it.
Dude, you're like the best photographer when it comes to iPhone.
Let's bring in Kern, because Kern is a rather younger agent, but he's building a great business out here in LA. He's got his team brand within his brokerage's brand, and but I think Kern has you've got a clue about what it takes to build a great brand. And would you chime in and kind of talk about how you're using the platform, but also, what's your branding experience been like as you build your real estate career?
Yes. So, with like James, I myself am relatively new to this industry. I come from the military. I did 7 years in the Marine Corps. I got out, went to school, and then, my wife was just like, she noticed that it wasn't really for me, that I was kind of lagging on that. So she's like, hey, why don't you try real estate with me, right? So we got into real estate, and I just loved it. I ran with it, right? Friends of friends, they're in the industry. They utilized the services that James provides, such as Maxa or more specifically lab coat agents. It took a lot of digging around for me to find out, like, hey, what are you using? What are you using to post your content on social media? So it took me, like I said, a lot of investigating, going through profiles, friends. We went ahead and we contracted Maxa Designs to go ahead and build our brand, our logo, our website, get our headshots done, and the list goes on. So when it comes to our platform here on Lab Coat Agents, we want to make sure that, hey, before we had got into making a commitment with Maxa, what idea are we going with? How do we want to be uniform? How do we want to look across the board from the outside looking in. And when you go to our platform, it's kind of all over the place, right? But it takes trial and error. Hey, what looks the best? What are we getting the most likes on? What are we getting the most referrals on? Could it be this post? Could it be that post? It's a little attention to details like that.
I have a question, Kern.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I like what you've done with the Casa. Yours is Casa RE, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love the colors and I love the look and the feel. When you're posting to social media, how often are you posting and what are you choosing to post? Because I think that'll reflect on how the audience perceives. It's like what Kevin was saying. What are you choosing to post out there?
Just sold, just listed, honestly. We've built the reputation in the short time frame that we've been in the industry as listing agents. And the majority of our listings come through referrals. When people get recommended to us, we're in the business, obviously, as realtors. We're looking out for the client's best interest. And the moment that they come step into the office, we're educating them on buying, on selling, even if they're first-time home buyers or they're seasoned sellers or buyers. It's good brilliance in the basics. And that's what we like to reflect our brand off of. We're here from you from the beginning to the end.
I love that. I love that. All right. You guys have any questions for Kern? No?
Thank you for your service, Kern.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
A long time, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful.
Chris, we talked about it. We talked a little bit yesterday about what you guys are doing, and you guys run more of like a team ridge, right? So you guys are building out a brand, which we'd love to talk about it some more. But and also, not only is it a brokerage, but you guys are more of a team where you do a lot more full service for your agents.
I'll give you a call Thursday as well.
LCA Marketing Center to do pretty much everything for them. All their listing marketing materials is created on the LCA Marketing Center.
I use Canva to do some stuff. LCA is probably the easiest in terms of dropping stuff in and it generating the content we need fast, or even a better quality, because we can do some manipulation on Photoshop and Canva, but this definitely has the best lines. Yeah, that's kind of what we use it for, is splitting aspect of it.
He's cutting in and out a little bit, but James, can you show us the back end of what he's worked on so we can see, because he's using it a little bit differently than how all of us are using it. And I want to see that too. While you're popping it out, I have a question for all of you. You all hear the word branding and you hear the word marketing, but what does branding really mean to you? I'm going to start with Kern. Branding. What does branding mean to you when you think of it, Kern?
Branding is a direct reflection of yourself. Your brand, you represent it, you emulate it. You want your brand, and whoever is on the team, you want to make sure that they're upholding the highest standards of your brand, right? So that way, it could be like a Nike, for example. They have their name Nike with the swoosh. You can take out the name and automatically know that swoosh is associated with Nike.
Dude, I asked you first because you're military and they have a brand, right?
Of course.
And they push that brand all throughout. Doesn't matter what level you are, right? So that's why I asked you first, and you were right on. So, dude, beautiful. Kevin, branding, what does it mean to you? Because you do it so well, man.
Thanks, man. Branding is consistency, and is a message, a consistent message that people can rely on. And the way you develop what's behind the brand creates the message and somebody's mind. And depending on how you do it, like if it's positive, negative, like you could have a negative brand, you could have a positive brand. I mean, you could have, obviously we're talking about business, so we want people to have a positive response to the brand and whatever it is that we're doing. But it's really just messaging and like, of course, like, it's positive. And it's a consistent thing. Like, so we have to be, and so if you think about this, kind of goes, like you use the word, and it's always you have to think of it negatively, but the word is propaganda, right? So like propaganda is part of branding, and messaging is part of branding, and repeating the same things over and over and over again is part of branding, until finally it becomes embedded. So like depending on your dollar financial ability to touch, depending on how many people you can touch, like that's how far your brand will go, right? So like if you have funding, if you have the ability to go on a national audience, go on Super Bowl and do a commercial, you're obviously going to touch more people with your message. And so with what we're talking about, I think, for the most part, like agents are going to have their messaging pushed within their marketplace, like within their farm or whatever, which makes it so much more reasonable and accessible, because your budgeting doesn't have to be billions of dollars. Like you can start very small, and especially with something like this, it just becomes a matter of execution and implementation of like messaging. So like for us, we're sending out thousands and thousands of emails, and then results in like them wanting to do business with me, and hopefully to a point where I don't have to reach out to them. They can reach out to me because of the brand. But I think the messaging needs to stay like constant. That's why you have the most successful brands and companies in the world spending billions of dollars on branding, on marketing, to keep the message going.
It doesn't end. You're right. It doesn't end. It never ends.
Yeah. I would say, just like to wrap in everything that Kevin's saying, branding is an integrated approach and a commitment to creating a remarkable reputation about oneself or a product or anything. It's that commitment to constantly create a remarkable reputation. And there's so many ways you can do it, so many different, every touch point of your brand, your business, there's an opportunity to brand yourself there. And to keep branding it there, building it around what you want to be known for, that reputation, those strengths that you may have. If you're a realtor, but one of your strengths is, or you're a brokerage and one of your strengths is marketing and listing high-end properties, that you can build an entire brand just around your marketing asset. Now, but then again, maybe your strength is you're a family-run company, your mom and pop. You have a beautiful, you guys look great together, you and your wife, or your wife and your husband, and that becomes your brand because people can connect to that. It's finding something that's memorable and people can connect to, and that's my little piece on it. I jumped in and stole
I love that, dude. I love how you brought that all together with what Kevin said. And I'm gonna go to Christopher.
Color consistency across everything. But just kind of like what everyone else said, it's just a matter of consistency. People want to know that when they're ordering something, whether it's from a restaurant or from they're going to buy a car or someone that they're going to be using, that they're going to be able to get the same thing every single time. Or if they refer a friend to them, that they're going to be able to get the same service or product that they receive. I think consistency is key. And, like they say, consistency is the new currency. The more consistent you are, the more money you're going to make. And, companies, like you all have said already, Nike, Cheesecake Factory, I think is the highest price per square foot, highest profit per square foot restaurant. And if you go in there, you're going to you're going to get the exact same product every single time that you order whatever it is you order.
Wow, I didn't know that they were the highest grosser in price per square foot. That's awesome, dude. But that makes a lot of sense. And I think what you just said goes along with what everybody else is saying, is that consistency in brand, no matter where you find it. So asking Don and Neil now, but it's kind of unfair because you guys already took all the answers.
I know I've changed my answer like 5 times as people talk.
What do you think, Don?
Well, I think that we're in a business that has a relatively low barrier to entry. Yep. And people get in the business, they get out of the business. I think branding is a commitment to your industry. I think it shows stability.
Wow.
And I think it reinforces competence that, you're not a hobbyist if you're investing in the same message over and over and over again. And that's why, Tristan, to your point, you're able to develop a brand where Keller Williams is kind of muted. People don't know about it. And contrary to that, as a brokerage, we have a really solid brand so that people are seeing the efforts of 63 of us over and over and over again. And my God, Soldera is huge history and professionalism.
That's, you know what, you just brought up something that I didn't think about, that it goes as simple as your logo, and that can be where branding starts for a lot of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
As simple as what your logo looks like and the colors you choose, mm-hmm. and then what message you decide to deliver with that logo and brand. Like, I'm looking at Neil's logo on his t-shirt, and that says a lot, which is a great thing, dude. I can read into what you are and where you work, right? Which is beautiful. But what does branding mean to you, Neil? What stands out?
That's a very good question.
Copy everybody, okay? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat what all of the rock stars here said. I'd like to add that it's just a memorable impression that people have regarding when they see your logo when you're not there. You're able to tell a story when you can't tell it for yourself, so the consistent logo, the consistent theme of, you as a team or brokerage or even an individual agent dictates what people see when you're not there, I think is, the biggest thing. Even more so with the emotions they feel when they see it, is a big deal. So like with blue, luckily I love this color, but learning from my stager even that blue is calming, right? So, just staying with colors in the psychological realm makes a big difference too. So
can I add something real quick?
I lucked out.
Jump on in.
I want to add something. I think it's important, and James touched on it, is relate of your goal, and then you better be able to deliver. So like, if you have a brand and you can't sell worth shit, then you should probably learn how to sell. You know what I mean? You should probably learn how to sell, and then start thinking about your brand. I think sometimes, and it's like one of those like chicken before the egg. Like, what do I do first? Do I need my brand first, then go and learn how to sell, or do I need to learn how to sell and then go get my brand? I know we're talking about branding here, but like I see a lot of people out there focusing on things that the shiny object stuff, and then like they get in front of someone, they don't know what to do. So like my thing, I feel like if you're gonna start focusing on your brand, know what your goal first of all is, and then be able to deliver
and your skill set.
Yeah. So sorry to go off track, James.
Dude, I think this goes perfectly into what James has created here. And anybody who's listening who wants to just go directly to James, just message him. He can help you out. if you need more help. But it's what James has created here. So for us, like Don and Kevin and everybody here, we use this center to be able to help with the agent's brand, right? And they have an identity that they can relate to, and we can bring them into our world. Now, if they want to create their own thing, yeah, we can certainly help them do that. But this at least gets them started in the right direction, right? So it's all uniform, which is
I agree.
I love, James. I can't believe you created this, and it's been missing for such a freaking long time, dude. You've simplified the process.
Yeah.
Like Chris was saying, it's so easy, right? You've made life easier for him because of it.
The wizard.
Wizard.
I got an email from one of our top users from the LCA Marketing Center. And he was supposed to be on with us as well, and he said something happened, he couldn't make it, but he just said, it hits there, and it lets us do it in 5 minutes instead of working hours back and forth with another graphic designer or marketing director. And I think that makes a big difference to be able to have the control. And watching you guys, top users with over 100 designs in your guys' accounts, it's like that's the freedom to create and have the control over your brand. And I think that makes a big difference. And it's been really nice to watch you guys build your brand using our tools, and then also like Kern reaching out to us. I didn't even know when I was talking to you that he was doing some branding with your company, and that was pretty neat. So I can't wait to kind of to see how how everything comes together as you guys build out your headshots, your clean marketing materials, your website, your email campaigns, all the different touch points get built out. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, anything you want to add? Kern, Chris, Neil, Don, Kevin, James, as we wrap up here?
Hey, it's the program is definitely streamlined, like everyone's saying. It's a one-stop shop. You want to get some high quality, good content to put out there. This is the place to be. And let's keep on spreading the word so that way more people can utilize the services and the products.
I love it, man. Anything else, guys? Thank you, Kern. That was really sweet.
Think of it this is an investment, right? Like you have to take if you take your business seriously, you have to invest in your business and invest in yourself. And this is a tool that is like a foundation to success if you want to maintain a long-term career. You need branding. You need something that you can deploy easily, and James built it. So thanks, dude.
Yeah, thanks, James.
For real. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And if you want to reach out to James, just message him, or just find him on LabCode.
LCAMarketingCenter.com. There is an enterprise platform as well, like that Kevin and Tristan use. Where if you're a broker and you want to build a custom suite out, that's available as well.
I love it. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate your time. I know you're busy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Bye, Don.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Don.
Bye.